Good afternoon, kids. How the heck is everybody out there today in Kong's land? Hey, I decided to come in today and do a special edition of the Kong Family Show from Kong's Lab. And what I wanted to demonstrate for you today, first off, I'm going to do a live cleaning of these ginormous artichokes that I just picked up at the grocery store today, just specifically for this little demonstration. And we've got three tomatoes. These are the kind that were fresh on the vine. And same thing here. We got three of those same tomatoes and the same artichoke right out of the same little pick of the litter. So anyway, I hope you guys are all having an awesome day like I am. It's a beautiful day here in sandy Utardia. The sun's shining. I'm wearing my tank top and my shorts and my flip-flops. You know, it's the best time of year, kids. Yeah, we get to play around in the sun. So anyway, with all that, we're going to just go ahead and get right to it. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use my tap water right here. You guys can see my little tap water thing here. I want everybody to understand that I have some of the very best tap water in the world. My tap water comes off of these mountains right here, and it comes down into a deep well aquifer, and it gets pumped up into my house. We have our own little water company. We're the only municipality in the great state of Utardia, at least as far as I'm aware, that doesn't have any chlorine, any fluoride, in fact, no chemicals whatsoever of any kind. And as you can see by my favorite drinking glass, you can see the minerals that are on the side of my glass. I need to clean this baby out with some citric acid here sometime soon, but this part doesn't really bother me at all. And in fact, I'm gonna fire up some Kong real quick because I think I need to power my brain cell for this. So I'm gonna run myself a nice glass of some 9.5 water. Give myself some hydrogen to the brain, baby. That's what you need. You need hydrogen to your brain so you can think straight. Kong, baby. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to use my tap water on this particular bowl, and I'm going to run it here, and I want you guys to look at this, and you'll notice that this water is just going to stay nice and clear. So I'm going to bring that out. I'm going to go right here. One thing I got to tell all you kids, you know, you want to get Kong his own spring. Because if you look right over here, you can see this little faucet right here. This is Kong's own waterfall for drinking from. And it is so sweet because it makes it so you can do your dishes if you want to or whatever at the same time that you are running your Kong. So I'm going to slide this up here like so, bring this over. And the thing about this water that we're going to talk about today, the 11.5 strong alkaline, strong electrolyzed reduced water that comes out when you hit this strong acidic button down here on the machine. What happens is you get an 11.5 pH out the top. Out the bottom, you get what's called hypochlorous acid. It is the most powerful disinfectant in the world. And I'm actually going to try and collect that water once I get ready to do it. But I want to show you how you do this. First, you fire up the water. You put it on the setting.
Strong acidic water.
Strong acidic water. That means we got strong acidic coming out the bottom and strong alkaline coming out the top. And I'm going to fire it up full blast. And she says to me, decrease flow, decrease flow. So I'm going to decrease the flow. You always listen to the pretty lady inside the lightning bolt in the box. I'm going to run it slow like this, and now what I'm doing here is I'm rubbing my fingers together under this water, and I can feel the friction with my fingers. And I'm going to keep rubbing them together until I feel the water start to go slippery. Because it'll go slippery. That's another thing about this particular water, kids. It makes great lotion. It really does. It makes great lotion. And there you go. It's gone slippery. And so now I'm going to start running the water. And I'm going to collect the hypochlorous acid down here on the bottom side. Now what you're going to end up seeing here is that the water, what I'm looking at right here, you guys, is that this water right here, this water is nice and clear, and the water that's coming off is yellow. The water that's coming off of these tomatoes, literally as soon as this water hits these tomatoes, it starts taking the pesticides and the poisons and the chemicals off of these things. And you can, here in a second, you'll be able to see the difference between the two waters. Okay, and so I'm going to just kind of run this around. This is what I do whenever I use this stuff to clean my produce, is I just kind of run the water around on it as it's coming out of the machine. And then I let the thing fill up. Until we're about the same, and then we're just going to kind of move both of these things around in the water. If you're like most people, you guys, you don't really want to stick your fingers in the water because your water has chlorine in it. Most everybody's water has chlorine or fluoride and that kind of stuff, and if you put your fingers in it, it's going to absorb into your fingers. It's going to absorb into your skin, and you really don't need fluoride getting into your skin. And so then basically what you do, but see, with my water, remember I was telling you that I don't have any fluoride or any chlorine or anything like that in my water. So I can use my fingers. I clean my hands, and I can use my fingers to run this stuff around in the bowls, and do the same thing with these. Run them back and forth, and let them kind of get some soaking going on in there, so that this water is doing what it's supposed to do. What this demonstration is about, guys, is that the simple fact of the matter is that you cannot get these pesticides and these chemicals off of your vegetables using regular water. It's not possible. Why? Because these pesticides are all oil-based. They're designed that way so that the rain doesn't wash them off when they're out there in the field growing. If they didn't make them oil-based, then the rain would just wash them off. And so, the problem is that regular water won't wash them off. The reason why Kong's 11.5 pH electrolyzed reduced water does take them off is because it is an oil emulsifier. It actually breaks down the oil. You can use this water for your laundry. You can use it for cleaning your house. You can use it for disinfecting your house. You use the stuff that's coming out down here. That's your disinfectant. That's the most powerful disinfectant that there is in the world, kids. It can replace your hand sanitizers, and it's completely safe. Your kids can actually drink it, and you wouldn't have to worry about it harming them in any way, shape, or form. You don't want them drinking it, but if they do, it's not like they just drink a glass of bleach. But it works. The hypochlorous acid is way more powerful of a disinfectant than bleach is. Okay? And so now that I have cleaned these off, these are all cleaned off good enough for now. And you should be able to see a good look at the yellow gook that's coming off of this water, and the difference between the two waters. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to switch over to the regular Kangen water, to the 9.5. And once it's cleaned out, one little word to the wise, that when you have your Kangen water machine, whenever you go from the strong acidic setting up to any of the other settings, you always want to clean the machine. Turn it full blast, it goes into its automatic cleaning mode, and it cleans the inside of the machine, because we have a saltwater solution that's being injected into the water when it's on the strong acidic setting. And salt is Salt is a corrosive thing, and so we don't want that salt hanging around in our machine. So then what I do is I just go ahead and rinse all this stuff off so that I can get any residue off of it. And I just go ahead and rinse these babies off. Okay. Rinse that one off. Rinse these guys off. We'll just stick them down there in the sink. Okay. Then I'm going to do the same thing with these. I'm going to rinse these off just so you guys can see that I'm doing the same thing for both of them. Okay. Get all any residue. Now, if I had chlorine in my water, I would not be doing this. I would not be putting chlorine on my vegetables because chlorine water, it absorbs into your vegetables, it absorbs into your stuff, and then you end up eating it. And once it absorbs in, you can't get it off even with common water. And so you do not want to be doing this test with regular tap water, kids. So now what I'm going to do is put these up here where you guys can see them both. Okay. You guys see the difference between these two waters? You know, and I'll tell you what, looking at the video screen, seeing what I'm seeing here, it really does not do the justice to just how disgusting this is. You know, see how dirty that water is right there? Okay. It's actually yellow and there's all kinds of gook in it. And you know, like I always say, see right here, see how clean this water is? And you guys see the difference there? And another thing, I'm not sure what's going on with Facebook and why my screen goes dark or whatever, but whoever's on here watching, I can't see you. I don't know if or whatever, if anybody's on here, but this is being recorded and it is going to go on to YouTube, and it's also should be streaming live right now on the Kong family page. If you're here and watching, I hope you're getting some value out of this. But if you look here, you guys, you can clearly see a difference between the two waters. Okay, and so remember, if you're using tap water to do this demonstration, don't use your tap water because you're going to get chlorine in your skin. You know, and if you are doing that, then you want to be using a fork or a spoon or something like that to reach in there and you know, turn the veggies around like I was doing. Okay, and so once again, you guys, look at the difference between the two waters. Can you see the difference there? Can you see it? I hope that you guys can see it because that's what this demonstration is all about. I want to show you guys the difference between the two waters. And now what I'm going to do as well is I'm going to take these artichokes that I cleaned in this water. I'm going to take the artichoke and put it in there. I'm going to take these other three and put them in there because these ones right here, these haven't been cleaned off yet because they were just cleaned in this regular water. Okay, and so with this regular water, it does not clean the pesticides off. And so there's no sense in even having it there. I did it for just demonstration purposes. And what I'm going to do is once these have had just a couple of minutes to soak in here, I'm going to rinse them off. And then I'm going to pour this water into this bowl so that you can really get a good view as to just how disgusting this stuff is. And quite frankly, this isn't even as disgusting as it normally is because tomatoes are one of the worst. They have so much gook on them and so much yellow crap that I've been washing my vegetables off like this for over 2 years now, kids, and I still never get used to it. It still disgusts me. Every single time that I clean off my vegetables, I get disgusted by what comes off of them. And I'm just so thankful that I'm not eating this garbage anymore. I don't know what it is. I don't even know how to go about testing it to find out what's in there. But I'll tell you what, whatever it is, it's not good. It's definitely not a good thing to have this stuff in your water. And I hope you guys can grasp how important this is, because, you know, these poisons, these toxins, these herbicides and pesticides and fungicides, and that's exactly what they are, kids. They're sides, and they're no good, and you don't want them in your body. Because they, you know, I was watching that show yesterday that I shared out on Facebook with the lady talking about her autistic son that had such horrible autism and parasites in his body. But eating pesticides and stuff like this, it perpetrates that kind of stuff and makes it all the worse. You know, this kid would actually break his own bones. He would break his bones right in front of his mom and dad. You know, his mom and dad would have to pile on him to stop him from hurting himself. It was crazy. And then when I was watching that yesterday, I was just happy that I wasn't able to see any of the pictures or any of the video, because I was eating my lunch. And I'm not sure. I have a pretty strong stomach, but I may have just ended up losing my lunch if I had been able to see all of those videos that she was showing to the audience. I recommend you guys go check that video out. It's on my page, on my J. John Surprise Facebook wall. Just scroll down a bit, you'll find it if you're interested. Of course, one thing I'm finding nowadays is a lot of people don't care about the truth. They don't care about the facts. They don't care about their health until they lose it. And then once they lose it, then they expect all of us to pay for it and take care of it and fix it. And, you know, my goal is to get people to be more into the concept of preventative maintenance of their health. And I got into the preventative maintenance gig and racket clear back in 1993 when I read the book World Without Cancer. From reading that book made me change my thought process, and ever since then, I've been taking care of my health. I've been, you know, being proactive about my health, and I'm trying like crazy to encourage other people to do the same. But you know what? All I can do is tell you. All I can do is show you. It's up to you what you do with what I show you. And let me show you this now. This one here now, you should be able to see that. Look how dirty that water is now. And I'm going to go ahead and pour it into here because this bowl's a little bit more clear. We're just going to go ahead and dump that all right in there. And I'm going to bring it up here nice and close so you guys can see. And unfortunately, you know, like I say, I always say this, it does not do it any justice. But look how cloudy and dirty that water is. And you can literally see the oil and stuff. If you taste this stuff, which, you know, I've tasted it, and it doesn't taste all that great. It tastes like soap. It tastes like oily soap. Like I was saying the other day, it kind of reminds me of back when I was a kid when my mom would wash my mouth out with soap for cussing. But yeah, you guys, this stuff is quite disgusting. And if you let it sit overnight, if you let this thing sit overnight, you will see all the gook and all the yellow and all of it. It'll float down to, or it'll sink down to the bottom, and it's really quite disgusting. But now what I'm going to do, you guys, is I'm going to just take a few more minutes here, and I'm going to share my screen with you. We're going to do something a little bit different. I'm going to share my screen, and once I get that, let's see, this is what I want right here, photos. I'm going to share that with you. And so, what you're seeing here, kids, is you are seeing a bunch of pictures that I have taken over the last little period of time. I'm going to start right here with this one. This is something that I did last night. And I'm going to open this up. Hopefully it'll open up. Come on, you rascal, open up. There we go. Okay, so this is Dole Baby Spinach. Okay, and what I did is, this was last night. We ate this spinach for supper last night. Yeah, force quit that. Hopefully you won't shut down my whole system. Come on, you rascal. There we go. Okay, so hopefully we're still rolling live. But this baby spinach right here, when we go to the next one, what I did is I put that spinach in this bowl here, and one of the bowls I filled it up with tap water. The other bowl I ran Kong's electric. You see it says strong there on the machine. So I'm using the 11.5 water to run that, and then the other bowl. This one right here, there's actually a couple potatoes that we put in there. I'm cleaning those off as well. And actually with this particular test, I didn't bother with doing the water test or with the regular water. And I think what we just did a minute ago should actually suffice as far as what we were doing. But as you can see, look at all the gunk that is in that. What I'm doing in this picture right here is I'm cleaning, actually I guess I did do both of them, and now I'm cleaning both of them off in the regular Kong's water, or I mean in the electrolyzed reduced 11.5 water. And this right here was the water that came off of the first batch in the regular tap water. No, this is the one with the regular tap water, and this is the one with Kangen water, showing you what came off of them. Okay, and so now I'm gonna go back to my pictures. Maybe I have to click on that. Yes. Okay. Okay. So now here's another one. This is tomatoes that I cleaned off, doing the same thing. You can see, look how yellow the water is there on the one on the left, the one with the 2 tomatoes in it. That is the Kangen 11.5. On the right is regular tap water. Okay, and I try to give you some different vantage points of it. You can see how yellow that water is, guys. And then here's the one with the 3 tomatoes in it. This is just the tap water, okay? And then I took the 2 tomatoes out, cleaned them off, and I ended up throwing those other 3 in, and look how yellow, once I had cleaned all the tomatoes off, all 5 of them, look how yellow that water is. Okay, see, there's all of them in there, and look how yellow that water is, you guys. Unbelievable. Actually, there were 6 tomatoes. But I threw a couple of other ones in there that I wasn't sure whether they'd been cleaned off yet or not. And then you know, so you can see the differences in these things, and you can see here with the regular tap water that nothing's coming off of them, and the yellow starts happening literally as soon as you do it. Here's another one that I did the other day where you can clearly see the yellow versus the clear. And then this right here, I thought this would be fun to throw in here because this is laundry time right here, kids. This is how we've been doing our laundry for the last 2 years, is by simply using this 11.5 water. What you've got there is on the left side, the left jar, the big jar, that's the 11.5. That's your cleaner. That's what cleans your clothes. And then the hypochlorous acid that's in the small jar, that is the disinfectant. So the one cleans your clothes and the other disinfects your clothes, and your clothes come out nice and clean. It's truly amazing how well this whole program works, and saves us a ton of money on laundry detergent. And oh, there's my friend Holly. That's another picture that I had to download today. Here's another one from, this is just from a couple of tomatoes and some peppers. Okay, I cleaned those off just in regular, or in 11.5 water. Look at the yellow gunk that's on them. And then there's after I got the vegetables out of there and cleaned them off, look at what's left. You can see just this picture actually does some decent justice to the disgust. If you put this into a program where you can magnify it, you'll see just how much gook and yuck is in there. And I have no idea what it is, but I don't want to be eating it. I'll tell you that. And all of that is just from those 5 little veggies right there. This right here, this is from a couple of apples. This is from a couple of apples. I just cleaned off these 2 apples, and after cleaning those 2 apples off, I poured the water out. And look at that. Look at that gook that's in there. I don't know what it is. I know that they put wax on them or something like that. And who knows what's in that wax. And if you want to keep eating this kind of stuff, go ahead and knock yourself out, kids. But what I'm doing here is, you know, people think I'm trying to sell something. I'm not trying to sell anything. I'm trying to save your life. You know, you can choose whether you want to save your own life or not. I can't do that for you, right? Because I simply can't care more for your health than you do. And if you don't care about your health, well, guess what? I guess I don't really care either. But here's some cherry tomatoes that we cleaned off. The ones on the right there, those were cleaned off with regular water. And that's what was poured off of them. The one on the left is cleaning those off with 11.5 Kong's water. You can clearly see the difference between the two. Here's some strawberries that were cleaned off. And these were, you know, this is one of those things where I didn't do the water and the 11.5, the Kong's water cleaning. But I have a couple of pictures coming up here that show that. See, here's just a couple of strawberries that I'm on the left is the 11.5, on the right is regular tap water. Notice the difference. I hope you guys notice the difference between this, and I hope you guys can contemplate what this means, because the truth about it is strawberries are the worst of all fruits and vegetables as far as the amount of pesticides and poisons that they absorb, because strawberries are like a sponge. And they absorb all that crap, and they just suck it in like a sponge. And the only way you can get rid of it is with Kangen water. And so that actually concludes the little slideshow that I had going today. Right there. There's strawberries. There's some more strawberries. Every time we bring home strawberries from the store, they always get washed. Any veggies that we bring home, the first thing we do is wash them off and then rinse them off, and they last a lot longer as well, just so you know, an FYI on that. So one last look at all of this stuff that's coming off of all these things. This is just a couple of apples. Look at all that crap in there. It just makes me sick. I mean, this one here really made me sick because the water just started turning yellow the second that it hit those tomatoes and those peppers. And look at that, you know. And, you know, there's your laundry detergent. There's another picture of all that. And, you know, hopefully this stuff kind of brings to light what you're eating. Do you really want your family eating this stuff? Do you realize how much this is going to cost you in the end when you're sick? Because you've been eating this garbage for years and years of your life. I promise you, this stuff isn't good for you, and it is going to cause you issues as your life goes on. You may be strong and healthy now, but all of these poisons just cause your body to eat itself even faster. And so there's the proof, kids. The proof is in the pudding. And so I'm going to go ahead and stop the share, and you know that pretty much concludes what I was trying to do today. I wanted to give people an idea of just how powerful and how important this water is, and how much it makes a difference for people in their lives. And I really want to encourage you guys to freaking open up the old brain cell, will you? Will you at least pay attention? You can go to Kong, K-O-N-G, the big gorilla. How do you think that big gorilla got so big, huh? Because he was drinking Kong's water from the base of the waterfall. But it's pronounced Kongen. It's not pronounced Kangen, it's pronounced Kongen. That's why I named it after Kong. I figured a big gorilla is a great mascot. But, you know, you can also go to kongswater.com. That's Kongs water.com. And on there, there's an 11-minute presentation that goes through all of the different waters and the microclustering, and helps you understand why this water is so important, why it's so unique, why it is changing lives all over the world, and why so many doctors and hospitals use it. In Japan, it's pretty saturated in Japan. All the hospitals use it. 60% of Japanese households have it in there on their countertop, like I do. And so, kids, this is something you're going to be hearing about as time goes by. In the next 5 to 10 years, everybody's going to know about this technology. And the simple fact of the matter is, you guys, is right now we have a product that every single living person on this planet needs, that hardly anyone on the planet has, that has no competition. Nothing. There's not a single product out there in the world that competes with Kong's water if you compare apples to apples. Nothing. And a lot of these so-called competitors that you're going to find if you go out there on Google and you search Kong and water on Google, what you're going to get for the first page or two or more is you're going to get a bunch of garbage from our so-called competitors. And every one of them says, we're just as good as Kong. We're just as good for half the price. The truth is, you guys, they can't even, what's something good? They can't even, some of these things are dangerous, and they're actually giving our industry a bad name. When people say alkaline water is bad for you, what they're talking about is that kind of alkaline water. Their machines have so little voltage, they're so pathetic at what they do that they have to add minerals back in. Their plates get scorched, and I'll tell you what, you want some sickness? How about some titanium sickness? You want some titanium or some platinum sickness? Go ahead, get one of these cheap machines with these mesh plates that are half price. Knock yourself out, kids. That's what I've done, and I thought this was a big joke and a scam, and I wasted 6 perfectly good months of my life by thinking that this was a scam, because I didn't open up my brain cell and take a look-see. And that's why I do what I do with the Kong Family Show. That's why I'm on a mission, because I miss my mother, and she is really my driving force behind why I do what I do, because I really and truly believe that she'd still be here with me had I been able to know about this water and been able to get her to drink it. Because barring some sort of an accident or catastrophic event, whatever, her body would have fixed itself. And instead of being on 22 different medications and developing a cyst on the backside of her kidney, turning her into a vegetable and killing her in 4 days at the age of 66, it's really sad, you guys. And I hope that the things that I'm doing here on a daily basis are going to resonate with you, if not immediately, as time goes by. Anybody that wants to do some real research on this, go to scholar.google.com. That's where all the scholars, that's where all the scientists, all the doctors, all those people, that's where they put their information. It's not a bunch of so-called competitors trying to badmouth Enagic and Kong and water. Okay. The other place where you can do some research, if you're so inclined, is you go to PubMed. That's PUBMED.gov. It's a government website, and this is where all the scientists and all of the people that are doing peer-reviewed studies and that kind of stuff. And if you go to either of these two places, you guys, search the term ERW. That stands for electrolyzed reduced water. Okay? You can also do yourself another favor, because this is right along what we're talking about today. Because today we're talking about the strong acidic water and the strong alkaline water. But you can also search the term. You can search the term hypochlorous acid. That's HYPOCHLOROUS. Acid. Hypochlorous acid. Do some research into that, you guys, and look at how much that one little product that comes out of this machine, how much that's changing lives. I mean, it is by far and away the most powerful disinfectant that there is in the world. It even kills MRSA. Ask any nurse or doctor about MRSA and what they have to do to try and fight it. People will go into an American hospital with a broken leg, and they'll end up losing their leg to MRSA. It's like some weird flesh-eating bacteria that just eats things and just literally, it's disgusting. There's a bunch of great stuff up there about it. So do your research. If you need to, you know, you're probably one of those people that you need to research this water, but you'll go out and drink bottled water all day. You'll go out and drink Gatorade and Coke and energy drinks and all that kind of stuff without doing any research whatsoever. But hey, whatever turns your crank, you guys, whatever you want to do. I'm here to teach. I'm here to help. I don't care whether people are in my line or not. I don't care whether people buy their machine from me or not. I'm here to help. If anybody ever has any questions, don't hesitate to reach out. You can get me at jjohn, JJOHN, Surprise, SUPRISE, on Facebook. You can also go to the Kong Family page, or you can find me on YouTube at the Kong Family Show. And you can also give me a call if you want to. You can call me at 801-573-6971. I'm available pretty much all the time. I do take some time to sleep, but when I'm waking, I've got Kong on the brain, kids. I got Kong on the brain. And if that bothers any of you, I'm sorry, but it ain't going to stop because I've got Kong on the brain. And the other thing you can do is you can email me at questionsandinfo@kongswater.com. So there we go, kids. There you have it. You guys have the rest of an awesome Sunday afternoon. I love you all. I appreciate you being here. I don't know who is on the feed or not. I can't tell. But if you're here, I love you. Thank you so much for joining in. I hope you got some value out of this. The replay will be up here within a matter of a few hours. Once I get the replay back, I'll get it up onto the YouTube channel. I'll be sharing it out on Facebook. And you guys, of course, can feel free to share it to your heart's content. All right. Much love. And remember, we are the Kong family, and we just have this really simple goal. We just want to change the world. And believe it or not, kids, that's exactly what we're doing. We're doing it one glass of 9.5, one lightning bolt in a box, and one awesome individual at a time. And it is happening. So get used to it. Get ready for it. Jump on the train before that train runs you over. And as usual, don't forget your hugs, kids. Much love, kids. Have a great one.